Hi, I'm Nicole Hind from www.unveiledstories.com, my online counselling practice, and I'm here today to talk about what I really love about working with you online. The reason why I'm talking about this is because sometimes people think that being on a video or talking to someone that they can't see in person is going to be really uncomfortable. And the interesting thing to me is that the opposite is actually true, and it's something that has really blown my mind since I started working online just over 2 years ago. What I notice is that if you're just talking, that a lot of the time people tell me that they feel so much more comfortable than being in a room with someone. Sometimes people are really sensitive to energy. Sometimes people have had really bad experiences being in a room with another person. And so actually to have that distance is incredibly helpful. Sometimes people literally words get choked up and they struggle to speak, and then they start to feel anxious that they can't actually express themselves. And that's actually really helpful to have that boundary. Sometimes I've worked with people who even have gone from instant messaging counselling, yes, it's possible, and then gone into talking, and perhaps we'll move into video one day as well. But here's the thing about video. I get to see you at home. And although initially that can be a little bit tricky for people, that idea of being on video, you'll be very surprised just how quickly people really lean into that. I've seen so many of you within one session. Next time I see you, you're in your jammy pants. You're wearing your trackies. Sometimes people have wet hair. I've just jumped out of the shower. Sometimes I've seen you cuddle cats and dogs. I've met so many of your pets. It's absolutely beautiful. And I've seen people, when something is a little bit rough, reach for their pets. And I make sure I make space for that too. If you need to grab your cat right now or your dog, please do. If you need to go and make yourself a cup of tea, please do. Sometimes you can even make a little bit of extra time for that kind of thing. It's incredibly important. It's also important that you have some control over the space. And sometimes I notice in my work, when I'm working face-to-face with people, that people don't feel as comfortable to do that. And it's probably because they're in my space or the organisation space that I've worked for. And so even though I'll put that invitation out there, people, you don't often want to take that up. It's a little bit awkward, like, I need to go out and grab a cuppa, or I just need to get out of here for a second and then come back. Really important, especially if you've got trauma. The other thing is the other thing I notice people do that just warms my heart is that people have pens and paper. Sometimes they doodle, sometimes they draw, sometimes they take notes, sometimes they jot down things that I say or that they say. And again, I put that invitation to people all the time in face-to-face work, but I've rarely ever seen anybody actually pick up a notebook and do that. And again, I think it's that thing of feeling like I can't, or it would be awkward or uncomfortable, especially when someone's in front of me. I have to put all my energy into that. But when there's that barrier of video, people just seem to feel so much more comfortable jotting things down. And so I've seen you doing that as well, and that's just really wonderful to see. What all of that concludes as, I suppose, is that what I see is people being incredibly comfortable. I notice that you lean into that more, that I've had you start to feel braver about where we might have a session if for some reason we can't keep to our normal time or place. It's really beautiful to see people feel so safe, so comfortable, so themselves. It also kind of allows a little laughter to come out, which is, you would think wouldn't be normal if you've never been to counselling before, or depending on who you've worked with or where you've worked from. Even grappling with some really serious stuff, there's often times to be playful. I've really felt really privileged to journey with some of you guys through that, not just what you're actually going through, but also this space online and sort of discovering it with you, co-creating things together, that solutions and helpful things. And sometimes that actually happens more quickly via this than, say, face-to-face. For quite a lot of you that I've worked with, so which is just wonderful. that's all. I hope that there's been something inspiring in here. If you've been kind of thinking about it and a little bit worried, just send me a message, just reach out. I can answer your questions. I'm not going to leap straight into, booking you in and whatever. So yeah, just send me a message on my contact form on www.unveiledstories.com if you want to ask me anything, if you'd like to even just set up a free consult and just see what it's like, see how you feel about it. If you want to show me your artwork on the wall, which sometimes people do, and what it means to you. There's all sorts of things that we can do that really, really help us show ourselves in a way that we're in control of. You can only see this, right? And the same as what I'm looking at you, I can only see this, and you can show me as much, or as little as you want. I hope that you reach out to me. Love to hear from you, and I'd love to help you.